Hey guys, I'm not going to waste any time, so I'm just going to hop right into it. So, this is my dog, Maselli. This has nothing to do with the video, so I guess I'm not hopping right into it. But, I have watched a couple of YouTube videos from a select couple of YouTubers, one being Fluff. He did a great studio tour video, his 2020 studio tour. Great video. Robert Baker's studio tour video, fantastic. Those two videos and the way they were filmed very similar, and it really inspired me to create a similar video. So, I'm going to be giving you guys a very, not super unedited, but very little editing, and just kind of a free-flowing walkthrough of my studio tour, which is basically just a glorified room tour, if you will. So anyways, let's hop right into it. So whenever y'all see my videos, you are sitting approximately right where I'm holding my hand right now. So, I'm going to start off showing you guys with something you guys haven't really seen in my room. And that is, if you turn the camera around here, and that's this way. So, the lights I use, these are, where are they from? Lumo Studios. They're like 60 bucks. It comes with a set of 3 of these. Well, 2 big ones and 1 small one. I only use one of them because it's all I really need for my my room here. But this is the light that is lighting up this room whenever you see me. The tripod you guys sit on is this Geekco. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that there. But this is a super nice tripod. I got a really, really good deal on it. I think I only got it for like 60 bucks when it usually goes for, I believe, 90. So I got a pretty good deal on it. Not a killer deal, but it's good. I like the tripod a lot. It's very stable and it does its job. This is the tripod I was using before, and this is what I use for my phone stuff now. This is just an Amazon Basics phone tripod. It works with the camera as long as you just unscrew this phone mount up here. Boom, you're ready to go. Just throw your camera on it. Right here is my dresser where all my clothes are in, because as you can clearly see, this is my bedroom as well. And right here I have the Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon. I believe this is the one from 2019. I believe that was the year it was released. Then right here I have the Y-Wing. It's another Star Wars ship. If you guys can't tell, I love Legos. One more Lego set over here. So like at the foot of my bed here, I have the Lego Jurassic Park. I think it's called like the T-Rex Rampage, or I don't know why it's called that, but it's the gate in the T-Rex. This thing is massive. You can see it compared to like a Strat there. It's about, I don't know, 19 inches tall. You can tell it's a big Lego set. So, I guess moving on, let's start off with the desk. I already have a full desk tour video, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this video going over the desk setup since, like I just said, I've already done that. I'm not going to go super deep into it, so I'm just going to give you guys a quick little scan. I have basically the same desk that every other tech YouTuber has. It's 2 IKEA Alex Store units with an IKEA Linman tabletop. Not exactly sure what the dimensions are, but it does its job. It's a good size. It's not too big, not too small. Right here I have the Logitech MX Master 2S mouse. It works great. It's very comfortable. I'm able to use it for long periods of time without my hands cramping. And another piece of Logitech gear that I really like is the Logitech G613. I really like this keyboard. It's very comfortable. The thing I don't like about it though is it's not backlit. So whenever I'm editing in the dark, which is usually whenever I edit, I can't really see the keycaps, and it's kind of aggravating sometimes. So my computer here, again in that video of the desk setup tour, I go into much better detail of this computer. So again, I'm just gonna skim. I have, let's see, 32 gigabytes of Dominator RGB RAM. This Vetru air cooler, a Ryzen 7 5800X, I believe, and then a GTX 1060. Those are the main specs of this computer. I got 7 of these fans in here. I really like those fans. I do plan on upgrading them though, because like you can't really tell on camera, but in person, they're much more yellow and kind of more like a cream-colored light rather than white, like this one is. So I'd like to replace those eventually. The problem is the fans that I want you can't really get. Moving on, I have this wireless charger here. Whenever I edit, I just set my phone on there, let it charge. If I get a notification, I'm able to see it, and then I'm able to tend to it after I'm done editing. Over here I have a Fallout Vault Boy. I got this thing in like a thing I got from Walmart. It came with like a beanie, a pair of socks. I love Fallout. It's one of my favorite games, so that's a little bit of personality to the desk setup. Continuing the personality to the desk setup, I have Eddie from Iron Maiden. It came with a patch. I actually bought this little set that it came with for the patch that it came with, but this little action figure dude is pretty cool as well. I have a mini Gibson SG replica from Axe Heaven, though it's not exactly the same as my real Gibson SG, which I'll talk about later. It's still pretty similar, and it's still pretty cool to have it like right below the real thing. I've got Angus Young Funko Pop here. I love Angus, I love AC/DC. And on the other side of the desk, I have, sorry about that, on the other side of the desk here, I have Mick Mars from Motley Crue, obviously. And then behind them, what they're leaning up against is I have two of these salt lamps. Do I think they do anything? No, they just look cool. And my main source of audio for this desk setup, and what I edit all my videos on, what I listen to music on, what I play guitar on a lot of the time, is the PositiveGrid Spark here. I've made a couple videos on this thing already. If you guys haven't checked this thing out, which if you haven't, I don't know where you've been, this thing's been out for a while. It's the PositiveGrid Spark. Fantastic amp. Really cool. Great amp for beginners and advanced musicians as well. The reason why I use this as a speaker is just because I don't have any speakers. I also don't really have any room to put any bookshelf speakers right here. Modern using, it's just a Samsung 36? No, not 36, I'm sorry. Probably like a 28-inch monitor. It's okay. It's not great for gaming or anything like that because it only gets like 32 hertz. So it's not the best, but it gets its job done for watching YouTube videos and editing YouTube videos. Coming down to the left of the desk here, we have the Marshall Valvestate 2000. This is my first real amp I've ever bought. I got it on Facebook Marketplace right before wrestling practice a couple years ago, and it's a solid state amp. It's a Marshall. Obviously, it sounds like a Marshall. I really like it, but I don't really use it too much as I use my my other amp that I'll go over next. And speaking of the double, this is the amp that I was literally just talking about, and this is my Marshall JCM 900. About 2 summers ago, I worked all summer. I worked my butt off, and I was able to purchase this amp. Although I didn't do as much research. I knew I wanted a Marshall because I know that's the sound that I like the most. But it's not the exact amp that I was looking for. So for that reason, it's for sale. And something I also didn't really do because I didn't do enough research on this specific amp is I didn't know the resale value was miserable. So I bought this thing at brand new pricing when you can really get them for much, much cheaper on the used market. Sitting beneath that amp head is this crate cabinet that I also got on Facebook Marketplace. It's not a Marshall, like I just said, it's a crate, but the previous owner took off the logo and slapped on a Marshall. At least he was transparent about that, which is good. And it kind of matches the head a little bit, so that's pretty cool. It's definitely not the best cabinet, and I absolutely plan on upgrading to a Friedman 2x12. That's probably what I'll get next, because it kind of suits the Marshall sound a lot, which is obviously what I'm going for, like I just said. So that's probably what I'll upgrade to next. So if you guys want either one of these pieces of gear here, feel free to leave a comment, and we can exchange information so we can make that deal go through. Here are the pedals I use, and that is none of them. I don't really use pedals. If I do use a pedal, it's probably just the wah pedal, and I'll probably use that once in a blue moon. Obviously, though, I use the Marshall channel switch. That's not really a pedal, though. It just makes it go from the clean channel to the dirty channel. So that's the only pedal I use from this what I have on the floor here. Now on to guitars. Right here is something that you guys have probably recognized before. It's been in almost every single one of my videos. This is my 2014 Epiphone Les Paul Traditional Pro. This was my #1 guitar before I got my new Les Paul, which hopefully you guys have seen. It's been in a lot of my new recent videos as well. I love this guitar. This was my baby. I mean, it's still my baby. I'll never be able to give this thing up. I still adore this thing. It's still a fantastic guitar. One of the best Epiphones I've ever played. Moving on over here, I have my 2019 Gibson SG Standard. I got this for my birthday a couple, maybe, well, in 2019, 2020, so, yeah, 2020, because COVID is happening. I already have a video up on both of these guitars, basically just telling the story of them, so if you guys are interested in learning more about them, then feel free to watch those videos. I feel like they're pretty entertaining, and they took a long time to make, so hopefully you guys enjoyed them. Over here, I have my father's PRS. He has a Fender Strat now, so he doesn't really play it too much for some reason. They're very different guitars. I'm not exactly sure why he kind of replaced it, but it's currently residing in my bedroom, and I kind of stole it from him, so I don't think he's going to get this thing back. But it's in the custom, or not custom, limited edition zebrawood finish. This thing's gorgeous. It plays like a dream. It doesn't stay in tune that well, especially whenever you use the tremolo system, so that's not the best. But other than that, it's a great guitar. I play a lot of Van Halen-y kind of stuff, a lot of Dokken on it. That's basically a guitar I use for that kind of stuff. Kind of like the hair metal music I like to play. Moving down here is a guitar that I have not shown to y'all yet. It's been in the background of a couple of my videos, but it's a kit guitar that my uncle got me for Christmas last year, and it took a super long time to make. But long story short, my uncle's nickname is the Hurricane, and you guys won't understand if you do them. But I based this thing kind of off of a hurricane. If you look at the body of the guitar, I did my best to kind of make it look like the eye of a hurricane. And if you look at the headstock here, I, again, did my best to make it kind of look like rain of some sort. It definitely looks better in person, but I kind of went with like a stormy kind of beat down look for this guitar. And it works. It definitely does not play the best. Like there wasn't any pre-drilled holes, you could tell. It wasn't drilled in the best, and I definitely could have done a better job. But now that I have more experience with the kit guitar, because I built this one, I feel like if I ever were to attempt another kit guitar, it would come out much better. So it's a cool learning experience. Not the best player, doesn't sound the best, but obviously it has some sentimental reasons from my uncle. Moving on over here, this is my new baby. This is my absolute dream guitar. I've wanted this, maybe not this specific one, but a 1979 Gibson Les Paul Custom. I've wanted one for several years. And this summer, I worked my tail off for this guitar, and I do not regret purchasing it at all. I'm not going to go super into detail about this, because I already have a video on it, so if you guys are interested, it's called, like, my first month or 1 month with my dream guitar. Like, do I regret getting it? It's called something like that. So if you guys want to know more about it, the story about it, then feel free to watch that video. Again, it took a really long time to make that video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But I love this thing. It plays like a dream. It's wonderful. It really is everything I could have hoped for. And just look how gorgeous this thing is. Let me show you the back. I feel like the back is just as pretty as the front on this thing. I'm flip it around for you guys here. You can see the figuring it has. I'm not sure how well it'll pick up on camera, but the wood dances like there's no tomorrow. It's gorgeous. It has the back bursted, the 3-piece maple neck with the volute, those vintage 70s tuners. This thing is awesome. I love this thing very, very much, and I could talk about it all day, but I've got a video to make and edit, so I'm not going to talk about it all day. Before I get on to this next guitar, I just want to briefly talk about these acoustic panels they're sitting behind. I talked about this briefly in the studio, or sorry, not studio, the desk tour video, but I'll go over it again. These are actually picture frames that I mounted acoustic panels to. The reason why I put them on picture frames is not only to give them kind of a little more classy look, but also that way I don't have to spray adhesive and stick them to the wall. I'd much rather just have one little hole in the wall, and just, if say I had to move houses for whatever reason, I'm just able to just take it off the hook, not the hook, sorry, the nail, and then there's only one tiny little hole. So it's not that bad. I think it's a really creative idea. I really like it. I've never seen anyone else do it. I have them all over my room here. I would like to set up some more on this wall. They probably don't work that well, but they're just for looks, and I think they look pretty cool if you guys agree. And here I have the two guitars that I also don't really play very much. They're not bad guitars by any means, I just don't really play them. This is an Ion Strat copy that my sister got for me a couple years ago, and it plays pretty well. Again, it's not the best, it's more of a beginner guitar, but it's pretty cool, and also it looks sick. This thing is awesome. And the other Strat copy I have is this Aria Strat copy. I'd say it's a little bit better of a guitar than the other one. Still very comfortable to play, pretty nice. It actually sounds pretty dang good. Like I really should play this thing more, but here it is. Here I've had this guitar for the longest, but it's technically my dad's guitar. He bought it back in like 2009, and we had it in our household for a very long time. And then we moved houses, and that's when I decided to play guitar, because it was like the last thing to be brought in, and I had like no friends, no sports to play or anything like that. I was like, oh, I need something to do. I guess I might as well learn guitar. And so this guitar I really started to learn guitar on, and that's why I'll probably keep it forever. The last guitar I'm going to be talking about is also the most new guitar, and hopefully you guys have seen the video on this one as well. This is my Fender FA100 acoustic guitar. This is my first acoustic I've ever owned, and I actually really like it. I only spent $50 on this thing, so obviously it's a Fender acoustic. That's a pretty dang good deal. So I really like this thing. It sounds pretty good. I have some strings, and for the next Strings and Things episode, this is going to be the guitar I'm going to clean up and replace the strings and make it look all pretty again. Sitting beneath this guitar is a Marshall JCM 800 floor mat. I think it's pretty cool. Like, it's got the little younger brother, the 900 here, and the bigger brother right here on the floor. I think it's pretty cool. It obviously serves no purpose other than looks. It's pretty sweet. Over here on this wall, I have a bunch of my wrestling medals. This isn't all of them. I have a couple more in a different room in the house. I've wrestled for, gosh, since I was like basically a fetus. I've wrestled my entire life. So this is just a couple of the medals I've acquired over the years. These are all my youth league medals. So when I was like elementary school, a couple middle school medals, all my high school medals are in a different room. Other than that, the last thing I have are these extra string swing wall hangers. I have these all over the room. This is what all my guitars are hanging up on. So I really like these things. They don't leave any marks on the guitar. One of them did fall out of the wall, so that wasn't any fun. That's actually why this guitar over here, my baby, has a big old ding on it. And it's got a couple scratches on the back of the headstock and a couple more blemishes because of that fall. I was just sitting here listening to Dokken for the first time, and it just crashed right off the wall, right before me, and landed on the floor here. It scuffed up the wall. You can see that's where the headstock hit. That's where the body scraped down. It chewed up the desk a little bit. So it definitely did some damage. That's not String Swing's fault necessarily, because in my opinion, not in my opinion, I was an idiot and I didn't put it on a stud. So that's really what you should do, especially for a guitar as heavy as a Les Paul. One thing I actually forgot to show you guys, which is completely off topic, is the cable management. I feel like I did a pretty good job. Whenever you're sitting in the chair here, you cannot see any cables. Of course, there's a couple there, and whenever you stand off to the side, there's really no way of hiding it there. But I think it looks pretty good. There's a channel raceway. That's just what I use. I use 3M tape to stick it to the top of the desk, so you can't really see any of the cables. The chair I have here is this Speed Series S-Racer, or S-Racer Speed Series. It's just a cheap Amazon chair. It does its job. It does cherry things. I wish there was ways to get rid of the arms and move them out of the way. That way it's easier to play guitar on, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I have to sit really far forward in the chair and then angle myself. That way the body doesn't hit the arms and or the neck doesn't hit the arms of the chair. But I feel like that wraps up this studio tour video. I've talked for way too long and my voice is dying slowly by the minute. So I feel like that's going to wrap it up. Anyways, if you guys liked this video, feel free to click like, and if you loved it and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.